Hey guys! Today we will be talking about the tea spilled by Stephanie from 90 Day Fiancé Season 8. As you may know, she has not appeared on the tell-all episode on this season. As always, no explanation as to why she and Ryan were absent on the tell-all was provided by the production, just like in the past with Joffrey and Varya and Paul and Karini.
Stephanie and Ryan, though, will not be joining us today, but we hope they're each doing well.
Fortunately, there is one couple that will not be joining us today, Jeffrey and Varya.
Now, Karini is unable to join us. Now, unfortunately, Paul and Karini are not able to join us, but we do wish them the best and hope they're doing well. Now,
apparently, Stephanie wasn't on the tell-all because she wasn't invited. The 90 Day Fiancé cast member has announced on her Instagram that she is going to have her own version of tell-all. The tell-all was published on IGTV at 8 p.m. on Sunday, April 11th, exactly the time the tell-all part 1 started on TV. Stephanie called her almost an hour-long IGTV video Sofa Talk. In her video, she appeared with her friends and colleagues who vouched for her sobriety and confirmed she received an unfair portrayal on the series. The first guest was Stephanie's personal trainer of 13 years, Frank. The trainer said that he agrees with Stephanie that her portrayal on TV was inaccurate and unfair. According to Frank, Stephanie isn't doing drugs or excessively drink. Stephanie and Frank discussed her medical issues stemming from being bitten by sandflies during the filming and her seeking medical attention in Belize and Michigan. This was largely covered in one of my previous videos, which I will link down below in the description.
If things were accurate the way the portrayal is, yeah, you would have to be the luckiest person on the planet. Not always, not alone. How are you supposed to be a successful businesswoman if this is what your mode of operation is? It would be impossible. You work long hours to build super successful business.
And you've always been a great friend. You're a very Christian man. You would never lie for me, nor would you ever lie for anyone.
After Frank left, Stephanie started to talk about her breakup with Ryan. According to Stephanie, she did send a lot of money to Ryan and his family to support them, quote, out of the goodness of her heart. When Stephanie and Ryan decided to go on the show, Ryan kept demanding more money from Stephanie, and Stephanie actually says he was bribing her throughout the video, but I assume she meant blackmail. Stephanie broke up with Ryan, yet the production still wanted to film them, and they sent a camera crew to Michigan to convince Stephanie to film. They were in Grand Rapids to persuade her for 3 days, and on the Sofa Talk, Stephanie says she was basically harassed. Stephanie's field producer was saying that Stephanie would become famous if she agreed to do the show, but Stephanie only wanted to triple her business, and in fact she did. Stephanie said she never wanted to be famous and only agreed to do the show on the contingency that the production will show her workplace and what she does there. Then Stephanie brought in her assistant from the clinic, Pam, her cousin Shannon, and her friend Rick. Pam said that the production were asking them to repeat lines and asking leading questions to get what they wanted to record for the narrative.
Well, right from the get-go, it was constantly telling us can you stop and reword that, and asking us questions like, doesn't that make you mad? Say this, say that. And I was like, no, it doesn't make me mad. I don't even know Ryan. And
this was also confirmed by Stephanie's cousin Shannon.
It seemed like every take that we did, they stopped us. Like we would tape for maybe 5 minutes, and then they would stop us and they would say, now say it more angry, or say it more upset, or how did you really feel about that? Didn't you feel more upset for Stephanie? Really try to stir up your emotions the entire time.
Stephanie then gets into her beef with TLC. She explained how she had to buy 2 tickets due to missing her flight, as TLC were late to the airport to go through the security with the camera equipment. She also had to pay for extra luggage because she brought many gifts to Ryan, and this part wasn't staged. According to Stephanie, she was bored during the quarantine and did buy gifts for Ryan and his family, as she was still getting along with him. While TLC said she would be filming 9 to 10 hours a day, in reality it was close to 15 hours according to Stephanie. Stephanie was also very upset with TLC hiring Ryan to appear on 90 Day Bears All, knowing what he did to Stephanie, removing a condom without her consent.
After I left Belize, they went ahead and hired Ryan for 2 bears all. So I called Via, the field producer. I said, wait a minute, you're hiring Ryan to come after you had hired a full-time police officer with a gun to protect me. The minute I was on the plane, you had Ryan back to hear his story. And as you know, I have told in the Instagram story that it was stealthing, which again is 10 years in prison in Belize.
Stephanie reveals that she was never invited to either 90 Day Bears All or The Tell-All or any other spin-off of 90 Day Fiancé. She said that while she did sign an NDA, she never signed up for lying on behalf of TLC, and they are complete liars who made Stephanie look like she is taking pills or drinks. Stephanie's friends affirm she is not a big drinker, and what we see on the show is just her being tired after a long day of filming and all the medications she was taking back then after being bitten by sandflies. She also revealed that she has a medical condition which causes her to not being able to keep her eyes open. When she is faced with a bright light, her eyes would start moving and closing, and the camera crew shine the filming lights on her face for many hours a day.
I have something called keratoconus is what it's called, and it's something where bright light affects you greatly.
Stephanie said that she was forced to pretend she still loves Ryan, and she did not anymore because he only wanted money from her. According to Stephanie, the producers flew to Belize 3 days before her and were supposed to film Ryan, but they couldn't find him, as Ryan refused to film. Allegedly, the production printed out a photo of Ryan, and they were able to locate him by asking people around if they have seen the man on the photo. Ryan was blackmailing Stephanie, saying he doesn't want to do the show anymore because he doesn't understand the concept behind it, but he would agree to film if she gave him more money. Stephanie then started to talk about Harry's storyline, and she said it was about 2% true. Stephanie said that Ryan was cheating on her all the time, and she only slept with Harris that one night when she fought with Ryan. Since Stephanie knew Harris well, she asked him to fill in for Ryan in case he doesn't show up for filming. The morning after Ryan performed Stealthing, Stephanie received calls from the production and an attorney that if she says she was violated, they'd have to cancel the shoot and she was free to leave Belize, but that would mean that everyone in the crew is coming back as well, and the storyline would be cancelled. However, Stephanie has become friendly with the crew on site and didn't want them to lose their gig during the pandemic. So Stephanie decided to call in Harris to film. But the difference between the show and reality was that Stephanie never wanted to bring Harris on a K-1 visa to the USA, but rather encouraged him to come on a work visa and support his wife Emma and his children. Stephanie knows Emma and Harris for 3 years now, and she is confident they would have never taken advantage of her, like it was shown on the show. Stephanie still supports Emma and Harris, and allegedly she sent a huge package of Christmas gifts to Harris and his family, including a brand new laptop for his wife. According to Stephanie, she reached out to her 90 Day Fiancé producer about reimbursement of $7,000 in expenses for her tickets and medical bills. The production said they would only pay $2,000, and Stephanie wasn't happy with that. Interestingly, Stephanie claims she paid for the cruise tickets to Belize as well, as they didn't have any company credit card with them, because they are independent contractors and the cameraman didn't even have his own credit card due to his bad credit. Stephanie then reads a letter from her attorney, who couldn't film with Stephanie due to a heart surgery. Stephanie's lawyer wrote that in his 65 years of practicing law, he has never dealt with a company which wouldn't even respond to his inquiries.
How does one build an extremely successful business after 18 years in a community that has many, many Christian people, and Stephanie becomes friends with many of her clients? Who would go to her and spend the kind of money, because our things are very expensive. We are expensive. And who would actually go to her and spend that kind of money if they had ever seen her popping pills or if they had ever seen her drunk?
According to Stephanie, Sharp Entertainment's lawyer Masha Meyenberg claimed that the company was willing to pay for medical assistance for Stephanie, following Ryan's stealthing and help her in filing charges against Ryan. Stephanie claims that this was a complete lie. Stephanie makes an interesting point as to why one day they would have been helping her with filing charges against Ryan, and then just in a short time hire him for another spin-off. I noted down a couple of more miscellaneous interesting facts from Stephanie's tell-all. Stephanie confirmed that she has hired 4 people specifically for removing negative comments about herself on social media. Stephanie was willing to pay $16,000 for a private plane to Belize for herself and the crew when there were no commercial flights due to the pandemic. Sharp Entertainment did pay for Stephanie and Ryan's stay on the resort in Belize, but according to Stephanie, the cast members pay their own expenses, such as meals and plane tickets. Stephanie said that she knows that one of the couples from previous seasons, whom she wouldn't name, weren't reimbursed for their filming for 90 Day Fiancé in a year. She also claims she has never controlled Ryan with money and was simply feeding his family. Some fans still don't trust Stephanie's story, saying the people on her sofa talk are not credible because they are on her payroll. Others are appalled as to how the situation with Ryan was handled by the production company. So currently Stephanie is definitely not with Ryan, and she still can file charges against him in Belize. Harris is still with his wife Emma. Also recently, Stephanie's Bumble account was discovered. Apparently, Stephanie is currently looking for a new love interest. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.